Yeah, I think they were lucky to get me, actually, if I'm being honest with you. Can you imagine for them, the icon? No, actually, it was. I'd been, so my first squadron was 2 Squadron, which was long history. It's the oldest squadron in the Air Force. So it used to be an Army Air Corps. It used to be a balloon squadron back in the day. So my first squadron was the oldest squadron in true. So 2 AC, and AC stands for Army Cooperation Squadron. So 2 brackets AC Squadron, and that went all the way back to the Royal Flying Corps. So that was actually a privilege to be on 2. Then my second tour was with 13 Squadron, and that was a new squadron, fairly new. So again, a young squadron, very young bunch of guys and girls there. The squadron boss, a guy called Mick Hetherington at the time, was about to leave the Air Force, so he had no axe to grind. He just wanted to have fun. So that was a tour of pure, unadulterated fun. And let's just leave it there. That was a great tour. And then I went from there to some other tours, but I ended up on 15 Squadron, which is a conversion unit training as an instructor. So I instructed on the OCU, which was then at Lossiemouth in Scotland, which I fell in love with. I fell in love with the place, absolutely fell in love with Scotland. On the OCU, and I was also then on the standards unit. And then when I did a staff tour, then went back to Lossiemouth, I went to 617, which was based at Lossiemouth at the time. So, and again, it was the history of 617, being a Dambuster. There's a lot of pride in that, especially as the first time I went to the association dinner, which is held at the Petwood Hotel in Lincolnshire, and there were the real articles from the Dambusters, the Les Munros, the Dave Knights, the real people who flew on those missions in World War II were there, sitting, drinking with you, shaking your hand, talking to you, buying you a beer, and to sit in that hallowed audience of men and warriors, and their families as well were there, kind of brought it home to you what being on 617 was, because they were real. These are the people that legends have talked about. The guy Gibson wasn't there, but all these people who did that were there. So it was a real honour. My boss at the time was Dave Robinson and then Al Monkman, and they were great guys, again, fantastic bosses, but they also took the whole thing very seriously as well and recognised that they were looking after Squadron, which was burnt into history. And it's almost like the Queen's Squadron as well. 617 was very much like the Queen's Squadron as well. So there was an element of, Gulf War II finished. We'd only been home a minute, and she came to visit Lossie to see Sixfoot. It was our anniversary, but she came up and she came to visit. People going, that's mad. You've only just got back. We were like, she's the Queen. She's ours. She can do what she wants. So again, it was an honour, and it really was. And it was a great squadron as well. Hence the reason why, as soon as the Tornado Force was retired, the first squadron for the new F-35 Lightning was 617. So the squadron lives on with the F-35 Lightning at Marham. So.